Hello everyone, I'm Greg Wilton, Dean of Level College and your professor for this class, Introduction to Evangelism, mentoring format. So you can sometimes take a class that's here on campus. You can also take one that's just strictly online. This is not just an on-campus class. This is not just an online class. This is a unique format. It's called mentoring. I hope many of you are starting to become familiar with that terminology. It's where you are going to engage in this class, but you're going to do it in partnership with a mentor that you find, you select, and that you meet with on a weekly basis. It's very important. There is another video that you can find here on Canvas about mentoring expectations. You must watch that. You need to watch that in order for you to be successful in this class. Several of you are actually taking this class and that you're on campus. I look forward to being your mentor as we meet together on a weekly basis, but there's several of you who are not going to be able to meet with me on a weekly basis because you live somewhere else. It's your responsibility to find a mentor. All of you are going to fill out that mentor agreement form, even if you have me as a mentor, and then we'll be up and running as you learn the content of this class. Most importantly, that we learn how to really enjoy evangelism. We know that this world desperately needs Christ, and it's our joy and our privilege to go out and to share and proclaim the good news of the gospel. And so this is going to be fun. It's going to be great. I hope you're looking forward to it as well. Let me give you a real quick overview of the syllabus. You can, of course, see, just like with any other class, you know how to contact me. Have my email there, even a phone number. Feel free to reach out to me via Canvas messaging. I want to do everything I can together with my teaching assistant to help you out, to help you be successful in this class. This is Introduction to Evangelism, LCCF2350 Mentoring. Make sure that you're in the right class. And check this out here. This is unique to this syllabus. On-campus students may use me, Dr. Wilton, as their mentor and meet weekly on Mondays, 3:30 to 6:20. In other words, if you want to use me as your mentor, and I'll fill out the mentor agreement form, that's the time in which we're going to meet, and we're going to meet together collectively. That's going to be the unique aspect of having me as your mentor. Okay, so let's go through this real quickly. You see the course description. You can read that later on for yourself, but this all relates to the Introduction to Evangelism, a required course for all of our students going through Level College. Here are our course student learning outcomes. You can also read that for yourself. We have 2 required course textbooks. We have, first of all, the one that is related to 3 circles. A lot of you are already familiar with 3 circles. This book is called Turning Everyday Conversations into Gospel Conversations. I provided you a link that you can also purchase it via Kindle if you'd like to do that. But this is a required textbook. It's a good one to have in your library. And then one that I'm particularly fond of, very excited to introduce many of you to this. A lot of you probably never read this before. It's another evangelism methodology. I know him personally, as I know Jimmy Scroggins as well, but Mike Shipman was a mentor for me as I served with the International Mission Board over in Southeast Asia. His book is called Any Three, Sharing the Gospel with Anyone, Anytime, Anywhere. And so there's also a Kindle link for that. You need to go ahead and get these 2 books and add them to your library and get ready to read them in its entirety, because you will be quizzed on this, and there will be a unique way in 2 different ways in which you will kind of report about the content of these books. All right, so here's the course requirements. This in the course outline, super important in every syllabus. First of all, there's a mentor agreement form that you will find on Canvas. You need to get that to your mentor ASAP, immediately. Have them fill it out and sign it, and then it is your responsibility as the student to upload that back up. In fact, it's 10% of your grade, and it has to be done in the first week of the class. You can get 100 already by just in the first week of the class, making sure that your mentor agreement form is filled out and signed by your mentor, and that you upload that, okay? You can find that on Canvas. This is one of those mentoring classes in which, in order for us to really abide by the letter of the law, the way in which we're supposed to do these types of classes, you need to have at least one hour weekly meeting with your mentor. And in addition to that, you need to be really trying to aim for about 2 hours of evangelism on a weekly basis. So that's a total of somewhere around 3 hours weekly that are devoted to like the class time, let alone that's not necessarily related to the work that you have to do reading the books or the lectures or taking these quizzes or something like that. Ministry experience with regard to 1 hour of meeting with your mentor plus 2 hours of evangelism is the requirement for this class, okay? So that's part of our course requirements. You have something that's called a weekly mentoring report that will show up unit by unit. Units 1 all the way through 14. Unit 1 is unique, but Unit 2 through Unit 14, you have a weekly mentoring report. And then you submit this unit by unit on Canvas. For each week this semester, students will be successful for this class by following this weekly rhythm. You ready for this? Step 1, watch the lecture. So there's going to be a lecture in each unit. Step 1 is to watch the lecture, and that's before you meet with your mentor. You use that lecture. You're responsible to create questions and talking points about a very kind of simple lecture that you will have from me on a weekly basis. Step 2, you meet with your mentor. You meet with your mentor and you bring your questions, you bring your talking points that you've developed from that unit. We're not just giving you talking points. We're not just giving you questions. You need to think critically. You need to have comprehensive thinking when you're engaging the lecture and come up with ways in which you can have a good discussion with your mentor about what you're learning. And then step 3, after you have met with your mentor, Lord willing, after you have put in some ministry hours, then you're going to complete a post-mentor meeting weekly mentoring report. This is 30% of your grade. You have to do one of these every week. It's pretty simple, but it's also something that you do not need to be falling behind on. So make sure that you do it on a week-by-week basis. And that weekly mentoring report is due that week, Sunday at 11:59 p.m. that week. Failure to do so, we're going to abide by a late policy. I'll talk about that in just a little bit. The third aspect of course requirements is going to be unique, but it's a lot of fun too. There's video recorded presentations. Students are going to submit video recorded presentations throughout the semester. There's 5 of them. An example of how to record and what to record regarding each presentation will be provided in Canvas. In other words, what that means is for each one of these, you're going to actually see me do it. And I don't want you to do exactly what I do, but I'm going to give you a model in which you're going to, on Canvas, record a video recorded response of a presentation to these 5 areas, and then you're going to upload that for a grade. It's a pass-fail. So if you do it on time and you do it in accordance with the guidelines, you're going to get 100 for it. So we're not going to like really be too over the top with regard to how critical we are of you with if you stumble on your words, if you do things like that. We don't want you to be just reading notes, but we definitely want you to just be relaxed and to be able to share from your heart what each of these topics are. And then you upload it real quick, and it's almost an automatic 100 for each one of these. Okay, so let me tell you what these are. First of all, on February 4th is the first one, and you're going to be talking about what is the gospel. You're going to put that into your own words. On February 25th, by February 25th, you're going to be using this where you're going to be talking about your story, my story, his story. I'll give you an example of that later on, okay? Then you're going to actually tell us about what you and how you have learned the methodology that's called NE3 from Mike Shipman. After that one, on March 14th, you're going to be doing the one regarding 3 circles. Some of you might even bring out a dry erase board or something like that and decide to draw it out that way, but it's a video recorded presentation. And then finally, at the end of the semester, you're going to actually use a video recorded presentation to just talk about some of your evangelism experiences that you had this semester. That's 30% of your grade. You're going to be going through 2 of those required books, and you're going to have book reviews. These are not going to be book reports. It'll be a bit more in a quiz format, but nevertheless, it still is a book review, which means you'll have to read them by the dates that they are assigned, and then you'll have to fill out that kind of book review / quiz. Okay, and so we'll see the dates for that on the course outline. And then at the end of the semester, there's a final quiz. The final quiz is just going to bring it all together, and it's going to test you on all those things that you've learned throughout the course of this class. I love this class. I'm so glad that you're a part of it. It's going to be great, and that's going to be a breeze because all this stuff that you will have learned and experienced, it's just a great reflection that you'll have for the final quiz, okay? You can see our grading scale. Here's the course outline. I go to this so many times as the teacher, and I hope that you constantly go to this and you maybe write it into a calendar or something like that just to help you stay on top of the content of this class. You can see that we have our units, the mentoring topic, and then the assignments due. When it comes to the assignments due, these are the pre-assignments that you're doing before you meet with your mentor. And then of course, just simply put, the post-assignments is the weekly mentoring report. So you've got the videos that you're going to be watching. This is one of them. Also the What is a Mentoring Class, the Mentoring Expectations video. And then you're going to move through it, and you're going to have like that mentoring agreement form and that Unit 1 report. Then we get into our rhythms, and you can see the topics. I've got a missional assessment we're going to guide us through as you go through the lecture, and you're going to use that to have a time of talking with your mentor. And then your post-mentor meeting, you're going to provide us, that's what's due, your Unit 2 weekly mentoring report. So you can see all the topics that you see right there. We're going to be talking about what is the gospel, what is evangelism, the role of prayer and prayer walking in evangelism. Hey, saying hello, starting conversations, all the different evangelism methodologies. We're talking about any 3 and 3 circles in this one, as well as, doing a little bit of the testimony method as well. But there's others that you're going to be fascinated or you already know about, and that's going to be a great time for you to provide input as to the different types of evangelism methodologies you're already familiar with. We'll spend a couple weeks on any 3, in addition to 3 circles. Then we're really going to kind of land the plane by really trying to focus in on like the role of the local church with regard to evangelism and how you do follow-up and discipleship and things of that nature. You can see all of the things that are assigned to you, pre and post, as well as when the book review. So you can see that the book review is due by March 3rd for any 3. And then the 3 circles book review, that one's due March 31st. And so those will all be appearing in Canvas. And as always, if you have any questions about any of this, you need to reach out to me or my teaching assistant, and we're happy to help out. So this is all that's going on. Let me mention a few things with regard to attendance and then our late policy, and then I'll be done with this video. First of all, the attendance policy, this is a mentoring class, so how in the world do we measure attendance? Well, for this mentoring class, you can see right here, failure to turn in a weekly mentoring report on time counts as an absence. So if you're gone through week 2, but you didn't turn it in on time, you turned it in like a week late, that counts as an absence. You get a total of 3 of those. You get to 4, you have failed the class. You cannot turn more than 3 of them in late. So make sure that you're very aware of that, because that's how we measure attendance for this class, all right? And for students who are using me as your mentor and how we meet on Mondays, that doubly counts for you with regard to the way in which we conduct ourselves on Mondays. If you're not showing up to that, of course that's going to count as an absence, and that doesn't need to happen, all right? With regard to late policy, let me just read this so that we're all on the same page. All assignments are to be submitted as indicated in the course requirements and course outline sections. Students will post their completed assignment to Canvas no later than Sunday, 11:59 p.m. on the week it is assigned. Late submissions will receive an automatic letter grade reduction. So you all of a sudden turn it on Monday. It's dropped, say you did it perfectly and it was 100, it's dropped already down to a 92. If you submit it 2 weeks late, there's a 2 letter grade reduction. So say you did it perfectly, but you came 2 weeks late, 2 Mondays late. That's an automatic 84. Anything after 2 weeks, I'm sorry friends, you get an F for it. I don't have time to be able to go back and to try and figure out when this was turned in or that. We're just going to draw a very hard line here, that after 2 weeks, in other words, you get to that third Monday and it's not turned in, you receive an F for that assignment. So I just want you to know about these things, because the most important thing is I really want every single one of you to be successful in this class. So this is just a video helping you out with the syllabus. If you have any needs, just continue to reach out to me and to continue to stay on top of all things that you see related to this Canvas show. God bless.